Hi, Breen. Welcome. Can you hear us? Let me let us add you on so you can join. You can actually request to be a speaker, and then we will accept it from this side. So I see both we have accepted.
Hi.
Hi, Breen.
Hi, Breen.
Hello. Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
let me try to accept Whitney's. I just accepted us, and then you guys can continue. I see she's here. All right, great.
Hello.
Hello, Whitney. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. How is Breen doing?
I'm doing very well. Morning for me here, but I'm doing very. It's warm and very nice today. So yeah. But how about you? How is your afternoon going? How's your Friday going?
Yeah, we are doing very well, and this side we are okay, and we are happy to see how everything is doing. We are well.
Good. And how are you, Whitney?
I'm doing well. It's a good afternoon.
Good.
I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Good. I'm not sure if we want to wait a moment or if we want to begin. But if you guys are ready, maybe we can kind of start with just a little bit of the background of kind of why we're doing this live and then go into some introductions. That sounds good to both of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you both for being on the live today. And for anyone that's joined, thank you as well for coming to this conversation about understanding youth mental health, specifically as it relates to widowed children. As we know, they have a lot of need in this area for an understanding and education and learning how to cope and develop skills to improve their mental health, which is a really crucial part of their development and a really big part of their well-being. And so by having this conversation, we're kind of opening the doors to learning more and for including these children in the education, learning about their mental health, as well as including others and how we can learn how to support them. And so this July, it's now July 28th, happy Friday, we're kind of having this live. I'm an intern at Nyanam this summer, as well as Whitney, and we'll do introductions in a second. But we are doing this to have a conversation, not just an informational session, but have a conversation about mental health and about youth mental health, so that we can then take action and learn how to best support our youth in our communities. So yeah, I will get us started. Why don't Whitney, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we can move on from there and just go around and do introductions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brian. So good afternoon, everyone. People joining from us from Kenya. My name is Whitney Onserio. I am the Youth and Communications Intern at Nyanam International, where we cater for widows, mostly based in Kisumu and Siaya. I'm glad to be here. I'm going to be co-hosting this live together with Brian, and Nicodemus is going to be taking us through some of the questions that we have, but mostly just an engaging conversation. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have on the comments or on the chats. We'll be sure to answer. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this and a very engaging conversation with all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm Nicodemus Agumba, Spiritual and Mental Health Officer at Nyanam International Organization. I've been serving in the church for a very long period, and the church is doing a lot around mental health because you have different groups, the elders and even women and youths and even widows. And I love serving even here where I am because we are really helping in mental health, and we are handling a lot, after a woman, after a widow remaining back alone, they have a lot of mental health issues, and just the same, their children has a lot of mental health issues to in their life, and we are here and we've been serving them and we are serving them, and I love doing that work. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Bryn, and I'm coming from Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States. And I'm also an intern, a youth and communications intern at Nyanam this summer for the months of June, July, and August. Very excited to be a part of this conversation today. I think it's a very important thing that just everyone needs to learn more about and be more educated on. I know that some of the research that I've been engaged with the last month or so, it's been a lot of kind of reflection and realizing just how important it is to understand this piece of not just like for youth in general, but just understanding how to best support people and realizing how vulnerable they can be and their mental health can be. So very excited to have this conversation with you both today. And yeah, so that's me. I'm Bryn. And if we want to begin, I'll kind of have just some questions that we can begin with, and I'll allow you to respond and just kind of give us some more reflection on those answers, if that's good with you both. Yeah, so to begin with, I know that sometimes mental health is something that is like a really big thing that can seem just, it's very difficult to understand sometimes. And so I'm wondering what some of the most common mental health issues that are affecting today's youth, and what are some of their underlying causes, and what does that kind of look like in your professional experience?
Yeah, there's some common underlying issues that actually the mental health issues that our youths are really facing, and though it's a general thing, but after remaining behind, after losing a father, it is like they face it more than the other youths compared to other youths. We have things like anxiety, we have things like mood disorder, and when we even talk of anxiety and mood disorder, you look at this, and most of our youths, they have a lot of worries, not only because they're youths, but again, in our context, because now they don't have fathers. In the society where we come from, young people, they have a lot of expectations, and they even have a problem with the age gap, and sometimes understanding their mothers, and seeing what their mothers are really struggling to do. Sometimes they don't understand that. I suppose, and I think this is because of maybe the age gap and how they perceive things. They are not able to see exactly how the parents are really trying. And so one of the common issue that they have, the mental issue that most of the youths are suffering from, is the issue of anxiety. They're really worried. How will I complete my education, after losing a father? And some of the expectations they have with their peers. How will I maybe match so and so, who is my classmate, who is my age mate? And the expectations they have is somehow same, but now the opportunity according to them, because they don't have the father and the environment they live in, they have a lot of worries. And this is one thing that I see as a mental health counselor, that is really affecting most of our youths. And in the same line, even the mood disorder, because the emotional state that they are in, because of what they are passing through, because of what they are seeing, because of the pressure they have. You know, they have emotional disorder, and this is somehow pushing them to the wall, not even giving them time or ability to think and to operate well. And so I think these are some of the areas that they are really affected in their emotions. Thank you. And again, I think the causes is just some of the things that I've just mentioned.
I'm not able to hear you anymore. I'm not sure if that's just me. But yeah, I'm not able to hear you. If there's a way to, I don't know if you turned off your accidentally or anything, but
Yes, sorry for that. Hello, Brain.
yes, now I can hear you.
Thank you. I was saying the underlying, some of the common underlying issues that are affecting our youth today include the anxiety and mood disorder, and I was explaining that this is because of the expectations they have. You know, even every youth, they have their expectations. They will not even say that because I am an orphan or I don't have a father, I should not be like the other people. They have the expectations, some high expectations, and this causes anxiety and sometimes mood disorder, which are in turn causes their inability to operate and to work well and even to achieve so many things that they want to achieve in life. Sometimes they are extremely, sometimes they are sad, sometimes they are irritated because of the life they are leading. And I feel if emotional disorder or mood disorder and anxiety is handled well, then our youths will do much better. Thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you for that answer as well. I think it kind of comes back to, for just anyone at, on the live that doesn't already know, Nyanam works with widows and widows' children specifically, and I think it's really interesting to kind of realize the differences between kind of youth health, but also specifically youth of widows and children of widows mental health, just because it does put a lot of added anxieties, added stress on their lives and just kind of their expectations for their lives. And kind of moving along with that, just with those expectations and realizing that their lives look different than some of the other children in their community or their village or kind of where they're living. I think it's also brought on a lot of stigma in kind of their lives and kind of how they're viewed in their communities. And so I'm just wondering, also from your professional standpoint, just your perspective and opinion, how can we help to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health in schools and communities, and kind of encourage open conversation about the mental health of youth, and then be kind of lifted up and embraced with open arms in their communities and by some of the people that they live with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very true that this is what our youths are passing through, and most of the ones who don't have their fathers. I still believe that we can still see how we can reduce the stigma that we are seeing, and if we allow open talks, if we allow open talks, and like in our case, there are so many ways, but from our context, maybe the people we are serving, they might not be able to maybe get involved or get good psychiatrists, and they might not have the equipments that are needed for this. But I think if we can apply the open talk, and discuss openly with our children, our youths, they will understand, because you know the mind is not something that cannot change. And if we have talks, like we allow them to share with us or with the parents what they are passing through, and the parents with the good knowledge of how they can handle mental health. If we train parents to have some knowledge on how they can handle mental health and how they can help the young people from different ages, because the mental health in different ages, if we help the parents to know how they can handle this, then the parents have the open talks with their children. They sit in a round table, and then they allow their children to at least share what they have, and share their mind, and they share what they have together as a family, and they explain everything. I think this will really reduce the stigma. Most of the time, they are not heard. They have a lot of problem, the children, but they are not heard. Sometimes they even grieve, but they are not. There's no attention. They are not given room to air their grievances and their hearts. And if we can just have open talks and allow them to share what they are passing through, and we allow space to empower them to think well, and we keep in touch with them, I think this will really reduce the stigma. We keep in touch with them, we allow them to talk, we give space in round table. All of them, they share. As young people, you listen to them, you be in their shoes. I think this will really reduce the stigma we see around. And if even teachers can apply the same, and if the elderly can apply the same, then I believe we will reduce the stigma we are seeing around. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that answer as well. And just speaking, I like the word that you use, to empower them. I think that's a really just good word to use. I think it's really important that when they're going through these challenges, when the youth are kind of trying to tell a trusted adult or someone in their lives about what they're going through and what they're experiencing and being challenged with, I think it's a good word to use to try and empower them. And I'm just wondering, kind of, if you have maybe an example, or just are like have any kind of just guide for what it means to empower someone if they're saying, like, I'm going through this, or if a youth is saying, I'm struggling with this. What does the response that is empowering to them kind of look like in your eyes?
Yeah, the best, typically what I've been experiencing in the area I'm serving, and what I've seen and what I've realized can work better is, all of them, even at the time they are really going through a lot of mental health problem and emotional disorder and stress and depression because of 1-2, they still have something good in them. The experience they have does not actually take out what they have in them. So if you can really remind them of what they have, if you can really tell them that what they're experiencing does not actually dictate their destiny, if you tell them their destiny is in them and they are the people who are more capable to bring out the best in them than any other person, then that word only will empower them, and they will now see, like, this perception will change, and they will see that, oh, there is something good in me, and if I cultivate this very well, then I'll get to maybe the higher heights, and I'll not be the person I'm seeing today. I'll not be the person depressed the way I am today. And the things I'm seeing today, I will see them no more if I bring out the value in me. And so what I normally use, because sometimes they bring issues that we don't actually can bring solution, because some things need some money, and some things need some good time with them, and some things need to maybe separate them from their families. And if at all you can tell them, start by telling them what they have inside them and what they can do if they use what is in them, then they will have another perception and perspective, and they will face the world differently, and they will work hard to achieve that which is in them. And so that is what I commonly use to empower and to help them overcome their mental disorder or mental health challenges. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you for your answer. Very helpful. I think just in kind of my research as well, thinking about what you've been saying, I think it's just important, or it seems important, to kind of help the youth recognize that the things that they are feeling and the emotions they are feeling are okay, and that it's okay to have emotions, but to also empower them in a way that's allowing them to focus on, like you were saying, like the things that they do, the positivities of their life, so that they can kind of reflect on those as well. I definitely think it's a balance of, in order to reduce the stigma surrounding some of the issues that they may be facing, just realizing that those things are, they're okay to have, and that they're not, it doesn't make something wrong with them, or it doesn't make them just any less of a person. It just means that they're struggling with something, and therefore they need help, ask for help. And so I think that's definitely a very empowering thing. And yeah, so just kind of moving along that as well, just wondering, kind of along with this empowerment and along with just being there to support the youth, what kind of strategies and programs have you either implemented yourself or witnessed just being used that have been effective in promoting kind of mental well-being and just encouraging resilience among youth, and just allowing them to feel that empowerment as well?
Yeah, thank you. From the area we are serving, and the way we are serving these people, especially along the lake line, there's some intervention that calls for some early program in childhood that can really help them or intervene in the social life that they are coming from. And as an organization, I think we've been doing a lot, trying to actually sit them down and give them time to think and see that which is possible with them. And so many things that we can implement here, or the things that we have been using, like we engage their parents, because they have been reporting things to do with violence at home. We engage their parents, and we use a means of peacemaking between the youths and their parents. We bond them up, and we help them reconcile to their their parents, and I just think these are some of the strategies that has really worked well with us, because number one, if they have a safe environment, they have peace with their parents, then we believe this is really helping them. And through some of the programs that we have programs that recognize the potential in them, and we have the programs that are really utilizing what is in them and enhancing their strength in different ways. Like the person leading youths has a lot of programs. They are directly engaged. They are engaged in different programs, and I believe and I see this is really working well, and our kids are able to realize and maintain who they are and the potential in them. Thank you. I don't know whether I got your question right.
No, definitely. Yes, that was definitely a very helpful answer. And just kind of a follow-up to that question that I was just thinking about is, it seems to be that there's kind of a just dual importance of engaging both the parents and those that are around the children all the time, as well as the youth themselves. And I'm just kind of wondering what that looks like in your eyes, and kind of balancing just the engagement of the parents and kind of the understanding and the support of parents, and educating them in a sense that they're able to support their children, versus giving the children themselves the tools to empower themselves and to just encourage them in that way, that they can kind of take it upon themselves to improve their mental health and their mental well-being. What is the difference between engaging the parents and engaging the youth themselves?
Engaging their parents and engaging them directly?
Yes.
Yeah. We love engaging their parents, because most of the time you find that the pressure they are getting maybe from home, and parents are directly involved in this, and some of the challenges they have in their learning institutions, the parents are also coming into that, because the parents are the ones who are, and in this case the widows are the ones who are taking care of everything. You will hear most of the time they have the stigma because they cannot pay school fee. Most of the time they are at home, they are seen in school, and others see them like people who can not manage it in school. And so we must engage them directly. But again, if we leave if parents are, the mother or parents are left out, then it will be half done. If you want to do it completely, then you engage them directly. You do your part with them, and you tell them. Sometimes we even explain more about their parents to them, and they hear us more than they maybe hear their parents sometimes, and we help them understand their parents better. And then again, you go and engage their parents in the same, and tell their parents to, besides working hard and maybe being tired sometimes because of a lot of work, that there is another responsibility that they have to do in line of bringing up and nurturing their youth and their children properly. And we are really working in this as an organization, because we right now we are doing a curriculum called parenting. We have in health, we are doing we have something called Voice of Change, and we use different curriculums. Like this year we are using this curriculum doing more of parenting, and we actually do much in educating and helping parents to know how they can parent all ages. Actually, we help them, and we show them how they can parent from age 1, and even before birth. They start parenting that early, and what they do to their kids in the early ages, the early age, and even adolescent, and even after that. So we are engaging them direct, and now we just want to see them implement what we are teaching them and what they are getting from us. And so I think engaging parents is part of making the whole system complete, because you engage them and you leave parents out of it, then it's not complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Nick, for answering kind of this first couple questions that I had. I would love to pass off the mic to my colleague, Whitney. I'm going to take us through a kind of set of questions. I loved being a part of this conversation, and hopefully I'll be able to join again in just a couple minutes. But for right now, I'd just like to say thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this conversation. And I'm excited to learn more from your professional standpoint, and just learning more about this really crucial and important conversation that we're having. But right now, I would love to pass off the mic to Whitney. So if you'd like to take that would be great.
Thank you.
Okay. That was kind of a brief of what we were supposed to talk about today. But just to recap from your discussion with Brian, I feel like it's important for us to explain to everyone who is watching that the youth we are catering for are not only facing the day-to-day problems that the normal youth is facing. These are youth who have lost their parents. They have gone through cultural practices that might not be very good for their well-being. They have now transitioned from having two parents in the household to having one parent. They are now going through financial issues. They're going through emotional issues. They're going through loss and trauma. And this sometimes creates friction between the youth or the child and the parent, and also with the community at large. And in this process, we find that most of the youth that we cater for as Nyanam, they have a lot of stigma. Not only are they stigmatized for not having a father, they're also just stigmatized for maybe not having financial resources to go back to school, or financial resources to have food on their tables, or sometimes they even have to drop out because they find themselves that they have to help their parents cater for maybe their younger siblings, or maybe their older siblings, or maybe the mother is not able to go out and find money for food, so they have to drop out of school, which also creates another problem that affects their mental health. But I think it is also very important to, with the topic of stigma, is also just creating awareness, which I believe we're doing right now, as holding us this conversation on Instagram, just to tell people that we have youth over there. We have youth who are struggling through loss and trauma, and they're struggling through financial issues. So creating this awareness and telling them that we have people who are struggling only helps them reduce the stigma and appreciate them also in our society. And I believe that if this is a very good time in our society where everyone is concerned about each other's mental health. This is whereby we have people going back to their communities to talk about mental health and advocate for mental health, which is very important. And also to reduce this stigma, so far, with the leadership circles that we have at Nyanam, Nick, you can support. It's also nice to have youth coming together, youth who are facing the same problem, youth who have, let's say, no parents, or maybe they're going through financial issues. When they come together, they offer each other social support, which allows them to heal, which allows them to even see themselves as a better, don't degrade themselves in the society, but see themselves as someone in the society, regardless of the stigma around the community. So my question would now directly come into from your experience, Nicodemus, how can we start promoting self-care? How can we start promoting good mental health practices to the youth for them to get out of the problems they're facing? If they're experiencing loss, how can we help them? What strategies can we give them in terms of practices to help them combat the loss of their father, the trauma of what they have experienced during this loss, the trauma of maybe having to drop out of school because of lack of school fees, the trauma from stigma? What are some of the self-care practices that we can help the youth integrate in their own personal lives to help them have a better mental health.
Sorry, just quickly before you answer, I just wanted to say bye, just because I do need to go, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to rejoin later on in the live. But I just wanted to say thank you, and not to interrupt while you were speaking, but thank you, and just yeah, I hope to speak with you soon. So
Okay.
Thank you so much, Brain. Yeah, I think we can reframe unhelpful thoughts, like if we help our youths to refrain from the helpful thoughts that they meet around, which I think this will help them, and this will be self-care that can really help them as a people. And just as I said earlier, some of the things and some of the programs that we have, like having the round table of wellness, if we allow our youths to, like from the family level, if they have that time to gather around the table and present their cases, their grievances, and they share with parents and the entire membership of the family, I think this will be taking care of them, and this will be also giving opportunities to their parents and to even their colleagues, the members of the family, to understand each other and to take care of each other. And so the round table of wellness can really help. And I was just saying that they can also get out of unhelpful thoughts. Unhelpful thoughts can really hurt them and can really mislead them. And they cannot do this alone somewhere in the field. But if they share everything with the members of the family and their parents, and even to the people around them, people that they trust, this can really take care of them. People talk of maybe having good sleep and being in the present and maybe living good and minding about the social connection and also keeping learning. But now it is true, I agree with all this, but I think the self-care will come if the youths can plan well. They can plan what they want presently and what they feel their future should have. And if they plan well, everything, I think, will be taken care of.
Yeah, that's true. And I also believe it's important for us to empower the youth by working through an inside out strategy, whereby we help the youth develop strategies on how to develop a good mindset, a positive mindset towards life, let them not be deteriorated by whatever they're going through. Also helping them just see life from the positive angle, despite whatever they're going through. Just try and make them see the best of themselves. And I believe that as Nyanam, we are every day trying to encourage the youth to see the best in themselves through this through the talent shows that we hold and periodically in the year, through the seminars that we hold for them, just trying to educate them, trying to help them maneuver life in the best way possible. And I believe that's one of the best ways to help the youth see the best in themselves. And it only just goes to help them have better coping mechanisms, better self-care habits, better resilience through life, which is good for them. And it also empowers the work that we also do for them and for ourselves. So this is also very important for us to ask, from your own opinion, Nick, how can other people, this can include the government, this can include people watching us from the live, this can include other non-profit organizations. What are some of the strategies that can be implemented? Like, as a mental health practitioner, what would you like to see other people doing aside from Nyanam, but the community of Nyanam all around, do to prevent the prevalence of mental health issues? As you mentioned before, some of the mental health issues that the youth are facing right now is anxiety, mood disorders, is depression, just because of all the problems they are going through. So if you were to advocate for something for the community around us, aside from Nyanam, what are some of the strategies you would like to see implemented just to help the youth around?
Thank you. I think what I want or I love to see most is positive talk. Positive. Now, this comes from even them. Positive self-talk. That is what you're just saying. That they think of the best in them, and if they think of the best in them and the surrounding, the people around them, maybe even the government, like right now, a lot is happening in our nation. If we can see positive talk around youths and including even the mentally challenged, the mental health challenges that we have around. Remember, most of our youths are dying. This is because the talks around is not positive and is not building. And if we can see a society where the positive talks is everywhere from the government and even the local leadership, I think this will make me really happy, because out of the positive talks, I believe we'll have some good visualization of what we visualize in these people, what we plan in them as a people, or as even a government. What are some of the smart goals we have for them? I wish to see the youth themselves, the children, having some smart goals that they feel can help them. And I wish to see environment or a society where people visualize and they see the young people and they see the best they want in that community. Like they are now the arrows that will get us that which we want to get. And they can do this if the positive talk is around within them, and even the government, and even in the schools. Most of the time in schools, people who are mentally not healthy, they are left behind. They are seen like they don't have their portion there. The big part there is for those who are doing well and those who are mentally upright and mentally healthy, and those people who are not healthy mentally, they are now left behind. But if we can change the conversation and talk best the good thing out of them, I believe that will be the best strategy that will take the whole country and the whole society to a better level.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also believe from what you've just said about the school setup, I also believe it's not that people don't want to pick up on the issues of mental health. It's just maybe they do not have the skills, or they don't know how to pick up on these things. I'm putting myself in a situation whereby we have a teacher in class, and maybe we have a student who used to perform very well, but in the recent exams, maybe they're not doing so well, but maybe the teacher isn't able to pick up the child is struggling maybe through loss, or is struggling in one area of their lives, and maybe they also don't know how to approach the child and how to help them navigate whatever they're going through. So in my opinion, it's also important for us to train the leaders, the elderly people in the society, our teachers, our parents, and anyone else in the society, just to pick up on these issues, speak up that this child may be depressed. It's not that they are not reading, it's not that they are not putting in the effort. Maybe it's just that they're going through something that they do not know how to explain, they do not know how to bring it up, so they kind of suffer, they do suffer in silence. And having that teacher, having that parent, having that pastor or church leader who's able to approach them and help them through whatever they're going through is only one way we can help the youth better navigate mental health issues. So that's a very good point. I'm good. Yeah. So I also want we also have to understand that youth mental health is not it's being affected by so many other things. Like, a person's mental health is affected by their financial issues, it's affected by their relationship with their parents and their peers, it's affected by drug and alcohol abuse, it's affected by violence. There's so many things that can affect someone's mental health. And I would just want to give you this opportunity to try and explain how Nyanam has been able to offer a holistic approach to the youth's life. So, for example, maybe if it is the financial issues, maybe you can take us through how Nyanam has been able to give scholarship to some of the students in the Nyanam organization for them to continue their studies. And yeah, just give us the holistic approach that Nyanam has taken to help the youth not only better their mental health, but also better their lives in one way or another.
Thank you so much. We have a good number of strategies and levels of seeing our youths strong and healthy mentally, and we engage our youths in so many things. And just like you said earlier, we have conferences, we have the rallies, we organize rallies, and in these rallies we give them time and space to actually talk, and we pay attention to what they tell us. And we even organize how we can sometimes help them get some tools that can support them. That is like providing some of the things they lack even before thinking of paying any school fee. And then we engage them in different activities that can actually do away with the low self-esteem and can give them power to come out and realize their full potential. So we do a lot in these. We even help them to know how they can engage in relationship, and the relationship that can help them, that can make them have the quality life they have or they want. We sometimes even tell them how they can care for others, and we believe if they do this will really help them. If you can take your time to care for others, maybe by looking how they are doing, you yourself, you are strengthening yourself even more, and you are standing up to be so mature that you can face life and get that which you want to get out of life. And so we have a lot of programs going on, not only the maybe the engagement we have, but we also do things like planting trees with them. We engage them in planting trees, and we even engage them in discussing different things in their levels, in their groups, discussing the challenges they are facing in their groups. Not only that, but also doing something that can make them feel they are also contributing to the society or to the area positively, like planting trees. Not only that, but we are also doing with them robotics, and this has really helped them because we've been able to take them even to Nairobi, sometimes to Homa Bay, and you look at them, how happy they are, and the skills they have, and how they can use robots to solve different problems. We feel this is really helping them. And the other time, we even managed to pay some school fee for them. we supported them slightly, and this was really great to them, and we were really happy to see how happy they are to receive support from us, just to assure them that they can still continue with their education. And both parents and the youths, they were really happy. And this is what is still going on even right now. We are still planning how we can do that even more. We are also planning to, this coming August, to have them together and see how we can help them rear chicken. We just want to train them how they can plant pawpaw, not only trees, but also how they can plant some pawpaw, and also keep some chicken. And we believe this will come to pass because we have good strategies, and this will really help. We have a lot. We have them in our mind, and we're trying our level best to engage them, to make them happy, and to bring the best out of them. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel Nyanam has done amazing so far, and we continue to do amazing even in the future. Just a random question, because I've seen some of my friends have asked. If anyone would like to join Nyanam, maybe as a volunteer, how should they go about the process? And maybe any closing remarks that you may have. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And number one, let me just thank some of your friends who feel we are doing a good job. And I know they will still see more and hear more from us. They can just check on us on our website, and they can send info@nyanam.org, and they will really get connected to us and have good time with us. I just want to say that the mental health issues that are affecting our youth today, we can still stand up as a people and help them overcome them, because we have the way. We have the way. There are all ways that can be utilized to at least help our youths, and we are telling the world, we are telling our people, our friends, that we are here standing with them, and we love to see them overcome all that they are passing through and come up victoriously. Thank you.
Yeah. This has been a very engaging conversation. We have tackled, I think, the whole 360 view of what the youth are facing. We have tackled the strategies that we are already doing as Nyanam, the strategies that we hope the community around us can do, and some of the ways that we can help the fellow youth. I would just like to urge everyone who is watching us today that remember to show compassion to the your fellow youth. You never know what they're going through. Remember to create awareness so that we can stop the stigma against the youth, especially those who are being raised by widows. And yeah, keep checking our websites, keep checking our social media sites. We have much more in store for you, and this was just a tip of the iceberg of what we do as Nyanam. Thank you so much, Nicodemus. I've been calling you Nick this whole time, but it is Nicodemus. Thank you for coming on our live today, for answering our questions, for enlightening everyone who has watched about the youth mental health and how we can better ourselves to help them. And yeah, if you have any further questions, just reach us out on our Instagram, LinkedIn, our platforms, and we'll be sure to answer. And be sure to follow Nyanam's page to also just keep track of whatever we are doing and how you can also be of help to our community and our organization. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you.